how to choose a camp stove if you are a first-time camper, climber, or hiker. Let's talk about two of the most popular stoves, the Snopeak Giga Power and the MSR Pocket Rocket. And right away, let's talk about the difference between the 4-prong surface and the 3-prong surface. Let's do it by demonstration. So if you have your cup, and I have an inexpensive cup from Wal-Mart, if you're going to warm up water on that 4-prong surface, it's very stable. You're not going to have any problems with it accidentally getting knocked off. And the same goes for the 3-prong surface of the MSR Pocket Rocket. It's stable for this small diameter container. So if you have a cooking container that's approximately that big, you won't have a problem. They're about equal. Both stoves are about equal. Let's look at not an ultra lightweight, but a lightweight. This is just a KitchenAid 8-inch pan, no stick, that I like to take camping with me. Let's put it on top of the Pocket Rocket first. Because there's so much weight in the handle, this is an unstable surface. Even if I line up the handle with one of the prongs, it still feels very unsafe. You have to get it perfectly, and if you're cooking your food, you don't want a chance of it just bumping off. And now let's compare that to the Snopeak. Snopeak 4-prong surface is also still not that stable. A degree more stable, but the weight, there's so much weight in the handle, it's going to be unbalanced. So let's look at a different pan. Good old 8-inch cast iron pan. Since the weight is central, that sits right on those 4 prongs very easily. That's stable. It's shaking the whole table, it's shaking the camera. Now let's compare that to the MSR Pocket Rocket. Also stable. A little bit wobbly, but still stable. I would be comfortable cooking all of my meals on that surface. I am comfortable cooking my meals on that surface. So as far as using your kitchen tools on top of both of the stoves, I would say it's about equal. MSR, Snopeak. Let's look at the lighting mechanism. There's a built-in igniter on the Snopeak. This for me is far and away why I bring this one with me. I don't like having to look for matches. Even my lighter is starting to go out, so I'd hate to be out cooking or needing to warm up water in the middle of a camping or climbing trip and not have access to matches or a lighter. So I always choose my Snopeak first as my personal first choice. And now the last thing to compare is when I go to take the stove off of the canister, the MSR Pocket Rocket folds up nicely, goes right into the container, packed and stored. Easy. The Snopeak, however, I'll show you something that you only have to learn this once. When they made this, that switch, the flame control valve handle goes off to the side. So when I wrap that up to put it in the container, I have to spin the flame control valve, which opens the valve, which I have to remember then. So it folds away nicely, put it away. So when I go to camp next time and I take the stove out, I've got to remember to close that valve all the way before I put it onto my fuel canister. I think that's the only drawback of the Snopeak. Again, I only had to learn that lesson once, and then now every time it's easy. So my personal opinion, I choose the Snopeak because it's more stable, has the built-in igniter, and then the flame control valve handle, you only have to learn that once, and then from every time after that you'll be okay. You'll remember to close it. So that's how you choose a new camp stove if you're a beginner climber, camper, or hiker.